I was born in the year 1367, grandson of the great Edward III and son of Edward, the Black Prince. My father was the pride of England, a hero of Crécy and Poitiers, yet he died before I could know him. When I was crowned in the year 1377, I was but 10 years old, a child upon a throne once held by giants. My uncles, men of power and ambition, ruled in my name, foremost among them John of Gaunt, Duke of Lancaster. Though they acclaimed to serve me, I soon learned that power shared is power lost. My first great trial came when I was 14. England was restless, its people weary from war and burdened by cruel taxes. The poll tax, they called it, a levy upon every man and woman, rich or poor. The peasants rose in fury, led by men named Wat Tyler and John Ball, crying for freedom and justice. They marched upon London, 1,000 strong, and for a moment the realm trembled. I was young, but I would not hide behind palace walls. I rode out to meet them at Mile End, and they looked upon me not as a boy, but as their king. I promised them fairer laws and an end to their suffering. But when Wat Tyler was struck down in anger before my very eyes, the courage of the rebels faltered. The revolt was broken soon after. I had kept my crown, but their hopes died in the dust, and with them something in me hardened. As I grew older, I sought to rule as a king, not as a puppet of my uncles and lords. I loved beauty, the splendor of ceremony, the art of words, the grace of courtly life. I rebuilt palaces, held feasts, and clothed my court in gold and colour. They called me vain, yet I saw in magnificence the true image of kingship. But the barons, proud and stubborn, saw weakness where I saw majesty. They grumbled at my spending, whispered of rebellion, and claimed I forgot the duty owed to them. In the year 1387, they rose against me, the Lords Appellant, they called themselves, led by men who claimed to act in the name of the realm. They took control of my council, condemned my friends, and humiliated my crown. I endured, outwardly meek, but within I swore that one day I would repay them. And I did. 10 years later, in the year 1397, I struck back. Those who had defied me were seized and punished, some imprisoned, others executed. I ruled as I wished, no longer bound by the will of insolent lords. I believed myself secure, master of England at last, but pride is a perilous crown. Among those who turned against me was my cousin, Henry Bolingbroke, son of John of Gaunt. I had banished him, thinking to rid myself of a rival. Yet when his father died and I seized his inheritance, Henry returned with an army. It was the summer of 1399. I was in Ireland then, attending to my affairs, and by the time I returned, the realm had turned against me. My barons betrayed me, my people deserted me, and my cousin wore the face of a conqueror. I was taken to London in chains, a prisoner in my own kingdom. They called it abdication, but it was no choice of mine. Before Parliament, I was forced to surrender my crown. Henry took my place and became Henry IV. I looked upon him as he was crowned and saw in his eyes the cold certainty of triumph. They sent me to Pontefract Castle, a king unmade. The days grew long and the nights longer still. I had ruled as I thought a king should, proud, splendid, and absolute. But England wanted another kind of ruler. In the winter that followed, I was left to hunger and silence. Some say I starved, others that I was slain. The truth matters little now. I am Richard, the second of that name, son of a hero, grandson of a conqueror, a poet among warriors. I dreamed of a kingdom ruled by grace and dignity, but I learned that beauty cannot hold a throne. My crown was taken, my legacy undone. Yet in the end I remained what I had always been, a king born for splendor, not survival.